welcome. I am your host, SHAE, and this is SHAE's Unfiltered Podcast, Episode 3, where we're going to start talking about trauma bond and what it means to us. So, what is trauma? A lot of people don't understand the word and what trauma means. So, it's an emotional attachment that develops between an individual or their abuser. Some people feel as though maybe they don't know if they're actually in a traumatic situation. So this is a lesson of putting ourselves in a predicament of figuring out if we're in a trauma bond situation or if it's just a traumatic event. There's many cycles of abuse that people don't understand, pretty much typically in relationships. More of a power of imbalance, domestic abuse, toxic relationships. Sometimes you may not even think you're in one. Cycle of abuse, it can start as when you're a child, when you get older, your adolescence, any form of your life. So you ask yourself, what does it come with? And I say, pretty much my opinion is emotional confusion, you torn between love and fear, sometimes leaving you in difficult situations, dependency. Some people depend on the person that they're with in those traumatic situations. Why? Only they know. When you see prime examples of trauma or learning the word trauma and attaching it to how your situation is, it's hard to fathom if you're actually going through a traumatic situation. Some people depend on their partners or family members in ways that some people may not understand. Feeling like they can't survive without them in a relationship, they can't cope without them, they can't pretty much maneuver without them. It's considered a handicap. Sometimes they even blame themselves for something that their abuser have done to them. And we're going to use the word abuser lightly because abuse comes in different forms. But when it comes to trauma, they're using it in the form of a bond between an individual and their abuser, whether it's physical or mental, and reeling themselves back in. I don't understand why some people blame themselves for when somebody else abused them. You do know it's not you, right? You do know you didn't cause the issue, right? Sometimes an abuser can make you feel like it's your fault. You've done something wrong. Or they don't know how to deal with their own trauma, so they put it on you. Sometimes an abuser can isolate the victim for years and years and years, and a victim not understand why they don't have no family around, why they don't have no friends around, why they don't have no support around them. What do you guys think trauma means to you? Have you ever dealt with any trauma? Do you think they're in a traumatic situation as we speak? Let me know. Write me a comment. Engage. Put into perspective that sometimes Stockholm Syndrome, people don't understand that they have. And it's hard coping with it. It's a coping mechanism. Some people don't know, they empathize. Sometimes they don't know that they don't have an outlet. They don't have nobody to talk to. They don't have nobody to confide in. And it's hard. A lot of people don't understand that they're in these type of situations until it's a little too late. So there are some signs, there are some ways that you can deal, cope, and try to just get through it. Sometimes some people feel loyal to someone who hurts them will never understand. Rationalizing and minimizing abuse behaviors is unnecessary. When you know that you're not doing anything wrong, that you haven't done anything wrong, it's not you, it's them. Sometimes if you feel trapped or unable to leave, find other ways to deal with it. Learn self-care for yourself. Recognize the patterns of an abuser. Get to a point to where it's no longer trauma, but you just trying to survive. Breaking trauma is hard, especially if you've been dealing with it since you've been younger or in different cycle realms of relationships. From relationship to relationship, some people have a pattern. They either like the abuse and tend to want to be abused more in different relationships, or they just know that they're being abused and continuously stay in that realm. Know what you're getting into when it becomes traumatic, because trauma can cause a lot of physical damage, a lot of mental damage to an individual alone. Make the realization that you're in a traumatic situation, and my advice is get out. Find a way out of the situation. Harm is not good for you or your health, might I add. Figure out what it is that's going to help you cope. Seek support, connect with a therapist, find friends that you trust, set boundaries, limit contact, or even stop focusing on your abuser. Focus on yourself, get yourself together, find your own outlets, even, hey, start journaling. Find another way to strengthen your mindset away from someone who's traumatically put you in a situation that you can't get yourself out of. That's all I have for you guys today on episode 3, Trauma Bond. Let me know how y'all feel about this, guys. Write a comment down below and let me know. Because guess what? We all been through something. And we all still trying to get through it now. You're not alone. Majority of the time, we don't even know there's other people that's going through the things that we're going through in life. So what I say to you guys is this. Keep your head up. Stay strong. Because we all in this together. And I'm gone.